soon as it's over, Ocean and Fine will follow on that table. But here, it's Alcaide against Thorpe for a place in the group final. What are your thoughts on this one, Chris? I mean, it's very hard to go against Alcaide on the form, but I guess in one sense it doesn't really count for anything now because it's a new start.
Yeah, the form book suggests that David will take this one, but we all know what can happen in 9-ball. Billy is a proven winner, and in a race to 5, anything can and will happen. David will be looking to get off to a really good start, like he has done in most of his matches. He's performed very well today.
Yeah, I know we don't have much to compare with in pool because it's only been a few days, but the history of Championship League snooker played under the same format going back to 2008
Mr. Alcaide to break.
Actually doesn't favour Alcaide, as I'll explain in a moment, once we've seen him get the match underway.
Well, I think the 6-ball has just come to Billy Thorpe's rescue. But it's not a difficult jump shot. He's only got to jump over the side of the 6. And he should make the 1-ball. This is probably an 80% chance of making this. If he hits it thick, it may go in off the 9-ball. Having to have a little stretch for it. Not the tallest guy in the world. And he rattled the jaws. He's been a little fortunate, should I say. Billy can make this, but he's going to have to double kiss the 1-ball in, and he's got to play it slow. The only other thing he can do is just roll up to it dead weight. Wants to play this with a lot of left-hand spin and just let the cue ball do the work. There you see him double kiss that 1-ball in. Clever shot. Looked like he couldn't make it, but he did. But now he's faced with a real difficult 2-ball. What a great shot he's knocked in there. What a shot that is.
You know, we talk about the confidence and the momentum that David Alcaide takes into this after winning all 6 of his round-robin matches. Well, Billy Thorpe has generated a bit of momentum himself. He wasn't looking good earlier on, but he was on this table twice earlier this evening, won both of his matches, and that got him through from what had been an unpromising position. So he'll be coming in feeling good as well. The comparison I was going to make with Championship League snooker, Chris, is that it's pretty rare in that actually for someone to win 6 out of 6. It happens maybe about once a season, if even that. And over the years, it's actually been quite rare for any of the players who've won 6 out of 6 to then go on and win the group.
Yeah, it does happen. You see somebody who has a real good day, performs well, gets to the knockout stage, and then for some reason things don't go his way.
Things have gone the way of Niels Fine on the other table. He's just rounded off a 5-4 win over Mieszko Fortuński, who's had a disappointing day, really, it has to be said. He finished top of the round-robin section last night, was then beaten in the semi-finals from well in front against Kelly Fisher, and maybe today's been a bit of a hangover from that for him. He's only won 2 of his 6 matches, but that's enough to keep him in it, so we'll see him again tomorrow.
And Billy's played that perfect angle to go up for the 9-ball. Using all the pocket and experience, playing it into the rail first at a nice weight.
Billy Thorpe then off to a dream start. He wins the opening rack and he'll have the break in the second. They met earlier today and Thorpe was beaten, but then again so was everyone else when they played Alcaide today. It was a hill finish, and that was an improvement for Thorpe because he'd lost his opening match 5-0 to Darren Appleton. And what a funny situation that is when you think about it, Chris, that the day started with Darren Appleton beating Billy Thorpe 5-0. And now here we are at the end of it. Thorpe's in the semi-final and Appleton is out of the tournament altogether, having failed to win any of his 5 subsequent matches. Yeah,
Darren just didn't seem himself today. He made quite a few glaring errors, which is unusual for him. He's normally pinpoint position, doesn't miss many, and if he is in a position where he hasn't got a pot, he usually puts you in a lot of trouble with a good safety. But it's the first tournament in quite some time. He's probably just a little ring rusty.
Rack number 2, current score is 1-0.
Well, I'm sure he'll be
Mr.
back
Thorpe
with a vengeance.
Mr. Thorpe to break.
Well, has he had the look there? Can he get the 3?
I think he can make the 3. It's not an easy shot, but if he can't, he may fancy the bank shot. As we spoke about, his nickname is Banking Billy. Probably the best bank pool player in America, along with John Brumback.
Oh, well, we could see from the overhead angle he clearly could get through to pot the 3, but fact is he hasn't, and having potted so many balls off the break, he hasn't left Alcaide with a huge amount left to do here.
Yeah, Davy's just going to pot this with the touch of right hand side, avoid it in the 9 ball, and basically leave the cue ball a foot to the left of where it is now. That's good. Doesn't mind being straight. He can draw it back off the rail or top it to leave a perfect angle on the 7 to come over for the 8.
.42 years of age now, David Alcaide. And as we've mentioned a number of times today, he's 2-time winner of the World Pool Masters. Such a hard event to win. Small field, but all really good players, so it's tough all the way through. He's won 2 dramatic finals there against Jason Shaw. And then Alex Kazakis, 9-8 last time out from 5-0 down. Talk about Billy Thorpe being famed for bank shots. Well, how about the full table bank shot on the winning 9 ball that Alcaide potted to win that 2nd World Pool Masters title? Much more routine 9 ball in this rack though, and David Alcaide is back on level terms with Billy Thorpe at 1 rack apiece.
Yeah, David will be delighted to get back to the table there. Billy had a chance to go 2-0 up. Played the 3 ball a little thick and left it on for Billy.
4 balls down on the break, still didn't win the rack, but of course we've seen more extreme instances. Alex Pagaline, as we were discussing the other day, 6 balls off the break once and still didn't win the rack.
Yeah, I actually remember that. It was an unbelievable break. He absolutely smashed the pack. Made 6 balls, landed perfect, and then missed his first shot.
There was a decent sized crowd there actually. They gave a huge roar when he potted the 6 balls, but just as loud was the awing, I suppose you'd call it, when he then didn't see it through.
Well, Billy seems really focused. Before he seemed a little lackadaisical. Sat in his chair there, he looks very focused. But David's at the table, and while he's there, there's nothing Billy
After
can
two,
do.
We are tied up at 1-1. Mr. Alcaide to break.
And another good break. Got to play a nice little cannon into the 3-ball to hold position. If he misses the 3-ball, he may not have a shot, but it's important to make sure you pot the 2. Nice little half-ball cannon onto the 3, and he should be pretty good. And he's missed the 2. He jumped up like crazy. If we do get a replay of that shot, you'll see how quick he jumped up.
What a golden chance he's handed to Thorpe now. Been an eventful start.
And he doesn't have a great deal to do. Just got to leave a nice little angle after potting this 6-ball on the 7 to get to the 8. Needs it to run, and that isn't perfect, but it'll do. He's going to punch this in with some pace to stun up the table. Nice angle on the 8-ball. Notice how he's leaving big angles all the time, so he doesn't have to power the ball in. Give the pocket every chance of accepting the ball.
So Billy Thorpe potted 4 balls off the break in the second rack, still didn't win it. 3 balls off the break for David Alcaide, didn't end up doing him much good in the third rack because he handed the initiative straight back to Billy Thorpe, and he's taken full advantage. The American leads this semi-final by 2 racks to 1. More to follow.
This championship is being played with the new Aramith tournament set. Featuring a unique molecular structure, it guarantees razor-sharp precision and unsurpassed longevity. Unquestionably the best pool balls in the world, this set is available in a TV and a value pack version, as well as in the new My Aramith range of ball and cue cases. Now you can bring and play with the best ball set everywhere you go. My Aramith, bringing new dimensions to your billiards experience.
Welcome back to Milton Keynes. We're down to the semi-finals in Group 3 of the Predator Championship League. David Alcaide, who topped the round-robin section, winning all 6 of his matches, is up against Billy Thorpe, who finished in 4th place. But it's the man from Ohio who has the upper hand. He's 2-1 up as he breaks off in rack 4.
And another great break, but he's not going to have an easy shot to get onto the 2 ball. He may choose to play the 2-6 combination. Not an easy shot, but I can't see much else that he can play. Is he going to try and spin it round the back of the 4? He's going to go close to the 8 ball if he does play that. Yeah, it was very risky. And now he's faced with a situation. Safety, combination, or a bank shot. And he's looking at the bank. Well, you've got to play to your strengths in this game. And Billy's strengths
Attention, please.
are banking the ball. It's a position he's worried about. It's not the bank, it's just the position. He's going to have to draw the cue ball. Well, he looks like he's playing a safety in behind the 6 ball. And that's a good shot there from Billy. As he blocked the side rail escape past the 6 and 9.
This is the way it's going to work in all of the groups. Whoever finishes first will play whoever comes in 4th. Well, on both of the last 2 nights, it's been the guy who's finished first who's lost. Obviously, last night, Mieszko Forchunsky falling victim to that fight back from Kelly Fisher. And on Monday night, Chris, you beat Eklund Kachi, who had finished in 1st place. So David Alcaide trying to avoid being part of a dubious hat-trick.
He needs a little bit of luck here. If he catches this thin, he may flick the 8 into the side pocket. Just like that.
Good call, Chris. He did raise his hand in acknowledgement of his bit of good fortune there. And really should be 2-all now.
Well, he must be lacking on a little bit of knowledge, because I spotted that. But David tried to make sure that he hit the 2, which was the main objective. Slightly fortunate to make the 8. But funny things can happen when you make a good connection on the object ball. And it looks like David is going to take this rack to go 2 each.
Yeah, and we talk so much about the importance of the break in the game nowadays, and if Alcaide does finish this off here, it'll mean that all of the first 4 racks have been won by the player who didn't have the break.
And I'm actually just looking over at the other table with Albin Alshan and Niels Fayen. And Niels Fayen has just hooked himself on the 8 ball. And he had acres of space to land in.
He is 1-0 up in that match.
Good shot there by David. Perfect on the 9.
Yeah, the previous shot perhaps wasn't the greatest he'd ever played. Left himself a bit of work to do, but he's finished it out nicely. David Alcaide seems to be apologising again for that bit of good fortune earlier with the 8 ball. But they're back on level terms at 2-all. Oh, look what Fayen has done there on the other table. He's made a magnificent kick shot on the 8, but still a bit of work to do on the 9. Don't know if we can have a look at that.
Yeah, that was a great kick shot. 100 mile an hour into the corner pocket.
Talk about making up for your mistakes. Here it is now. This is what he's left with. Not 100% this.
Well, he's certainly stretching. I do expect him to make it, and he has.
So Niels Fayen has been a beaten semi-finalists beaten semi-finalist in both of the first two groups. Can he go one better? Certainly off to a good start there. They've played each other 4 times already, would you believe? They met in the semi-final of Group 1.
After
Ocean
4,
won it.
we were all tied up at 2 apiece.
He had
Mr.
also won their
Alcaide
meeting
to
in the
break.
round robin section earlier. But Fine has beaten him both yesterday and today.
David opting for a cut break this time. Not sure if he's on the 1 ball, but he does have an easy safety shot with a lot of balls to hide behind.
Maybe you could explain for those not entirely familiar with the game of 9-ball, Chris, what exactly a cut break is.
Well, the cut break's when you break and you don't hit the object ball, i.e. the 1 ball, dead in the centre. A lot of the players try to hit the 1 ball dead in the centre, and that will in turn kill the cue ball in the middle of the table. The cut break's hitting the 1 ball basically 3/4 ball and trying to stun the cue ball over to the middle diamond on the side rail with side spin, and that way sending the 1 ball from the side cushion up towards the top corner pocket, which is what David was trying to do. And he's played a very good safety shot there. Not too hard for Billy to hit, but not easy to get it safe.
Oh, this one is rolling dangerously from Thorpe's point of view.
And he's left it. Again, not the easiest of positional shots to get to the 2 ball. This one's quite thin. You may see Albin go a couple of times across the table here. Just depends how thin the 1 ball is. He may be able to spin it in. Go inside the 4 and the 2. That's what he tried to do, and he's hooked himself. Well, he can see the edge. A little bit fortunate there. He tried to go in between the 2 and the 4 and back across. But the 2 ball into the left hand corner, and if this goes, he's had a big roll.
Extension, please.
Well, he's opted for the safety, and he's played it very well. He may be able to kick it just above the green 6 ball. If he hits the side rail, but he's going to have to spin it. He's going to try and hit this full ball. If he does, the spin will kill the cue ball on the bottom cushion and send the 2 up the table. Well, he tried to 2-rail it. Not a bad cue ball, but he doesn't have to do anything to get position onto the 4.
David Alcaide was the first player from Spain ever to represent Europe in the Mosconi Cup in 2006. That was the match that finished in a tie, and the Americans retained the trophy after Alcaide had actually lost the last match. Took him 11 years to get back into the team. He won 4 of his 5 matches as Europe won for the 8th time in a row. And he makes that 2. Just worth remembering, his only defeat that week, Billy Thorpe, was on the other side. It was a hill-hill finish. Alcaide and Vandenberg beaten 5-4 by Thorpe and Dennis Hatch.
Yeah, in these short races to 5, you'll see a lot of players beating each other. You may see David beat Billy one day, and the next day Billy beat David.
Well, the other semi-final is the classic example of that, as I was saying. Alban Ocean and Niels Fyan have already played each other 4 times this week, and it's been 2 wins apiece. So it seems that finally someone in this match is going to win a rack in which they've had the break. David Alcaide trailed 1-0. He also trailed 2-1. But now he's won 2 racks in a row for the first time in the match, and he leads for the first time at 3-2.
And just looking over at the other table, Niels Fyan has just missed a glorious opportunity. He was on the 1 ball in the corner and he missed it pretty badly, and left Albin in with a chance, and he played a really good shot. On the 1 ball, he banked the 1 ball into the corner, landed okay on the 2, and now he's good on the 4 ball to try and get his first rack of this semi-final.
Yeah, both semi-finals in Group 3 of the Championship League going on simultaneously, and the winners will meet on Table 1 once both of these matches are concluded. The winner of that will be the 3rd player through to the winners group, along with you, Chris, and Eklund Kachi. Still 4 more places to be resolved between now and that winners group starting next Monday.
Well, I think Albin's complaining. He just had a big bounce there. Shouldn't be anywhere near that 8 ball.
Big bounce, and he's got a big problem now. He has to bridge over the 8. Back here, Thorpe gets us underway again.
And Billy's been very unlucky again there. Good break. Cue ball got kicked a couple of times, and I don't know if he can make this 1 ball. He's going to jump it. I'm not sure about this one. If he makes it, all well and good.
If not, he could go 4-2 down. Biggest shot of the match.
And he wasn't a million miles away. I just thought it was dangerous, because 70 times out of 100 times you're going to miss this shot. And for me, it was too risky.
Well, now that his risk hasn't paid off, he's got to sit there and take his medicine. Nobody's been 2 ahead at any stage of this match. David Alcaide has a real chance to do it now.
Yes, and if he does, David will be breaking in the decider. And I cannot see how David can possibly fail from here. He doesn't need to do hardly anything with the cue ball. Automatic position on every single ball.
Yeah, and going 4-2 in front, if he does, that will give him 2 bites of the chariot, trying to win it on his own break. As you say, he will be breaking in the next rack, and even if it went the distance and we had a hill finish, he'd be breaking in that as well. So everything's stacked against Billy Thorpe at the moment, as David Alcaide closes in on becoming the first player to finish top of the round-robin table and actually go on to make it to the group final.
Well, David's just going to spin this round off 2 cushions, leave a nice angle. And that's just about perfect. Couple of options. He can pot the 6 ball and stun out across the 9, or spin it 2 rails with right hand side. I think spinning it with 2 rails is probably the correct shot. That way the cue ball's coming off the bottom rail and coming into the 7, and it'll leave a perfect angle to get onto the 8.
David Alcaide has been wonderful throughout today's play. He's won all 6 of his matches to get to this stage. And now he's on the hill in his 7th. David Alcaide leads Billy Thorpe 4-2. He needs 1 more rack and he'll be breaking when we return.
He's going to the bottom cushion, maybe off the 8. Oh, trick shot by Woodward. What a shot by Evolution.
One thing's guaranteed, that shot will appear on plenty of highlight reels.
Whoa, did he split the wicket? What a beautiful shot that was. What a beautiful execution.
Look at this. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes it's best if you get up to the table and just
This championship is being played with the new Arameth tournament set. Featuring a unique molecular structure, it guarantees razor-sharp precision and unsurpassed longevity. Unquestionably the best pro balls in the world, this set is available in a TV and a value pack version, as well as in the new My Arameth Ranger of Ball and cue cases. Now you can bring and play with the best ball set everywhere you go. My Arameth, bringing new dimensions to your billiards experience.
What a good day it's been for David Alcaide, and it could be about to get a whole lot better because he leads by 4 racks to 2 against Billy Thorpe from Ohio in this Group 3 semi-final as he looks to book a place in the Group Final, which could sweep him into next Monday's winners group. There is the man trying to stop him, Billy Thorpe, member of the American Mosconi Cup team, which was beaten by Europe in Coventry last December. He will absolutely dig in, try to turn this round, much as he's turned around his campaign in this group, just to get this far after a poor start. Here we go then, Alcaide on the hill and with the break.
Not straightforward. He does have a shot at the 1. Oh, does he get on the 3 ball? He may have to play the 1 ball into the side pocket if he wants to attempt it, because I'm not sure how we can get onto the 3. The only other thing I can see him doing, the 5 ball's tied up, so he may cut the 1 ball in and cannon the 5 ball, holding for the 3. But he's deciding to cut it in the side pocket. This is not an easy shot at all. And he's got it. Is he a little straight? If he's a little straight, it's not going to be easy to get from the 4 to the 5. So he's got a few issues, a few obstacles to get over. But he generates so much action on that cue ball with the Revo shaft.
Just imagine how much confidence and adrenaline must be flowing through his veins at the moment. The day he's had to win so many matches. Look at the players he's beat. Albin Ocean, Mieszko Fortunski, Billy Thorpe earlier, Niels Fyan, Darren Appleton, Kelly Fisher. How could you not be confident after a roster like that?
And I don't believe he's got a shot. The only thing he can do is flick off this 5 ball. And it was always going to be the problem ball, was the 5. There's not much he can do here. Just flick off it, try and send the white up the table. He's got Billy in a bit of trouble. What will Billy attempt to do here?
The sole American left in the tournament after Chris Robinson's elimination in Group 1 on Monday. He'll love the idea of flying the flag for the States, particularly as his last visit over here resulted in such a disappointing Mosconi Cup, both for him personally and for the team.
Is he going to try and put the 4 near the 9? Well, he tried to make it. Oh, and he's made the 7. What a roll that is. Well, I didn't spot that one, Michael. Where is the cue ball going? Very close to the side pocket. And that was a great shot on the 5 there from Billy. This 8 and 9 to make it 4-3.
He talked about his reputation on bank shots. That's why he's become known as Billy the Banker. Well, maybe we should be calling him Billy the Battler. Fought his way back into this group from such a difficult position, and he's clinging on now in this semi-final. Only 4-3 behind, and he's got the break in the next rack.
Yeah, we could be seeing this go all the way. Billy playing with a lot more confidence as we go over to table 2. Albin Ocean at the table, trailing by 3 racks to 1.
Yeah, could it be third time lucky for Fyan? Beaten semi-finalists last night and the night before. Albin Ocean, much like Billy Thorpe, has turned around his day. An even more extreme case, really, because Ocean was all at sea. He lost his first 3 matches, but then won his next 3 for the loss of just 5 racks in total. That's what's kept him in it and got him to this stage. Almost went out of the tournament altogether last night, Chris. Of course, he had to beat Ralph Souke in his last match to avoid total elimination.
Yeah, and that was a nice little quote from you there, Michael. Ocean, all at sea.
Plenty more where that came from, mate.
Hey.
9 ball, centre pocket.
Oh, wow, golden break.
And he gave it the big one, did Billy. Pure luck making the 9 ball on the break. Gets kicked by the 4 and the cue ball. And 4 all.
Wow.
And that is really going to hurt David Alcaide.
Is there any other game where things can change around so quickly? He was on the brink of semi-final defeat, what seems like just a few moments ago. Then he gets it back to 4-3, and then in one shot, he's taken them to the hill. They've already been there once today. Alcaide was a 5-4 winner when they met in the round-robin section.
And what are the chances of David Alcaide breaking and also making the 9 ball? You don't often see it twice in a row, but it does happen.
Well, it's a shame the bars aren't open, because I think we'd all have to head there for a massive celebration afterwards in normal circumstances if we were to see a finish like that. So David Alcaide was so much in charge here, or so it seemed anyway. He'd won 3 racks in a row to lead 4-2. Now he's lost the last 2. A golden break for Billy Thorpe. David Alcaide needs to come up with a golden moment.
And he's perfect. Absolutely perfect on the 1 ball. Got to play a good shot to get on the 2, but you feel if he gets on that 2 ball, this match is all over. How do you play to get on the 2? Do you play top spin off the top rail and play down for the 2 past the 8? Or do you play it with deep, screw back or draw, as they call in America, and play for the 2 into the top left hand corner past the 4 ball or the side pocket? I think that would be me. I'd try and screw the ball back, giving myself 2 options, where the other way you only have 1. And he's played it absolutely perfect. Couldn't have picked that cue ball up and put it in a better position.
If this is to be the end of the road for Billy Thorpe in this group, I still think he'll go to bed fairly happy with his day's efforts. The situation he was in wasn't looking like he was going to be in the semi-finals. Maybe he was even in danger of going out of the tournament altogether. But he got those wins over Niels Fine and Kelly Fisher. He's got himself into the semi-final. And he's given David Alcaide a really good contest here for the 2nd time today. And of course, he's left us with one of the moments of the day with his golden break in the previous rack. But this isn't entirely over yet. Alcaide's still got to get the job done here.
And the one good thing I like about Billy is that he's never given in. We saw yesterday Albin have a few chances and you could see he wasn't quite there. But Billy hasn't give up. He's tried for every rack. And he'll be back tomorrow. And David's over at this one. He's over at this one by about 2 feet.
Hold the presses.
And these are the type of shots, and I hope it doesn't happen, these are the type of shots where you get skids. When you try roll them with a touch of spin. It hasn't happened often this week. But he needs to be very careful. He's got to make sure he goes past the 9 ball so he can get to the 8 ball, but don't over hit it. I think he's a little bit short. Just looking at his face there, he seems okay. Yeah, he can just spin this in with a touch of right hand spin. And this 9 ball to send David Alcaide through to the final of Group 3.
7 is heaven for David Alcaide. 6 wins in the round robin section, and now a dramatic victory over Billy Thorpe by 5 racks to 4. The second time he's beaten him in a hill finish today. David Alcaide, the first man through to the Group 3 final, but who will he play?